Hey, welcome to another episode of Real Conversations. I'm your host, Nicole Jones,
And I'm Quana Terry.
and we would like to thank you guys for continuously joining us here on Thursday nights. Uh, what's going on, Kwana? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm a little oblivious today. I had a crazy day. So, how was
yeah,
your day today?
the day was great. We're off to a bit of a late start tonight. Had to handle some things, but we're here, and I'm glad we're here because I missed you all. Thank you, like Nicole said, for watching. Nicole, I know you said you had a crazy day, but right now, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantabulous. Um, I'm here with you guys, and we have an amazing show for you guys tonight, and that's it. Like I'm just ready to get through this live and talk about what we have to talk about.
All right. Well, let's get to it. Our first topic of the night, Nicole. I don't know if you want to take it, but I think I'll take this one because I guess we'll start off on a bit of a somber note, and then we'll head over to something on a lighter note because you know, as you know, there's so many things happening in the media when it comes to Israel and Syria. And yesterday, Wednesday, July. What's oh my gosh? What is today's date?
Today's
My
July
goodness.
16th.
Thank you. Wednesday, July 15th, around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, uh, Israel bombed the Syria Ministry of Defense, and they also caught some of the pallets in there as well. Now, it was definitely caught by they were definitely caught by surprise, and I know this because there was a clip that I saw where a news correspondent was actually reporting the news and the bomb went off right behind her. I'm going to take a look at that and we're going to go to that clip because I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. This is insane. Yeah, that
That's
right
crazy.
there, you could tell that she was caught off guard, and the fact that she had to leave her chair, she had to roll up out of there. Now there are I know there's tensions between Syria and Israel right now, and it actually has been for some months now. And then but I thought that there were talks of peace treaties, or that the U.S. was stepping in to negotiate a ceasefire.
Mm.
Obviously, that Israel took it into their own hands and said, "Okay, listen, we're not we're not agreeing to that. We're going to do this." And it. I feel as if Israel, their powerhouse. They know that Syria is a small country, but I believe that they were actually their reasoning was because the Druze, which is a part of like an Arabic part of Arabic sector of Israel,
Mhm.
almost but they're some of them are in Israel, so they have about 1 million of them in Israel. So what they're saying is that the Syrian government has been killing them and doing all types of stuff. So that was their response to the Syrian government. And I'm like, I don't know, Nicole. Like, I'm just Israel is at this point. It's like they will take out anybody at any time, and I'm noticing that like they will take out anybody at any time without notice, and it's just insane because from I believe December to now, over 350 people were killed, and yeah, to some people it may not feel like it's a lot of people, but that's still one life is too much to me,
Yeah, that's a
you
lot of
know.
people.
So it definitely is crazy. What do you think about that, Nicole?
Girl, I have nothing to say about this. For some reason, like you said, they are always ready to take someone out. I mean, these the people that live there, Like I feel like they literally train these kids from train these people from when they were kids.
Mm.
What they need to do, and I just need this stuff to like stop. Like people are literally losing their lives. Like why do innocent people have to lose their lives for you to prove a point?
Well, I mean, prior to the new regime that's in Syria, the previous like I guess leader, I
Hmm.
believe his name was Assad or something like that. And don't quote me on this, y'all. He was like there was like a literal genocide going on in Syria. So I get that Israel was trying to, or what they say, they were trying to defend the Jews, which do have some in Israel, and then there's still some on the Syrian border. I get
Yeah.
that, but in the midst of peace talks and everything like that, it's like they just, like I said, took it upon themselves to move forward and bomb the palace, bomb the Ministry of Defense, which is a huge, um, it's a huge like message to send, because like, okay, we bombed the Ministry of Defense, like tell me how powerful are you. But they know that Syria is really not that powerful and that big, as in comparison to them, to Israel. So I don't know, I guess there'll be more to come on that. I know that there are going to be more development. So, but I just wanted to show that video because I was like, wait a minute, what's going on,
But it's so crazy because I could have sworn that they were actually getting along at one point.
you know Technically, for a while, there's been civil unrest within the territories, and
Mhm.
they were mostly fighting amongst one another. So now that Israel has actually stepped in, it's been a lot of
Back and forth.
terror. There's a lot of back and forth and terror amongst both groups. So I'm hoping that this, with the U.S. getting involved and there are peace talks, I'm hoping that this actually, comes to an end soon. Hope that they
And
agree
why?
on a ceasefire.
Why do we always gotta get involved? Like, can't
Well,
we not mind our business though? Sometimes.
I mean, we have interests in the area. I mean, we can't. There some people are our allies. We cannot get involved.
Girl,
There's always something. That's why I say, the U.S. doesn't produce anything on its own. We have to go
I
to
know.
certain things. We have to make peace, or be buddy buddy with certain nations in order to get stuff that we need.
But this is the
And
reason why I'm sorry.
no, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I guess I'm just very passionate about this little situation because I'm like, this is the reason why we need to start doing things here. We need to figure this out. Like, we shouldn't have to go all the way over there to get stuff. Certain things they
Yeah,
used to do it here.
we never produce anything. So,
Actually,
like
yeah,
oil and things of that
you're
nature.
right.
Like the
Did we
United
not?
States
Wait,
has always drilled in other places in order to get the natural resources that we need. We've
I mean,
always
I know what they've done, but I remember a time when they actually did do it. I mean, I know it was years ago, but I remember seeing somewhere years ago about it was like in Texas or somewhere when we were utilizing our own resources. But I do know that over there, it is much more than what we have. That's the reason why they went over there. But it's
yeah,
like, we gotta do something where, I don't
yeah.
know.
Crude oil is abundant in certain areas, and we don't have enough of it in order
Right.
to be able to sustain our nation. So we have to, you know,
I
be
get
buddy
it.
buddy with those people who are not, in other nations. And sometimes we have to get involved, especially if our interests are threatened. We have to, unfortunately, get involved. So
I mean, I
we'll see.
understand.
Yeah. But I just thought that was just insane when I saw the bombing, and the woman, she looked like, of course, super scared, rightfully so. But just to see that, it was just alarming, and it was just, for me, disheartening. So, well,
Yeah, no one should have to live like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think more so it's like they thought they were safe where they were, right?
Yeah.
She's obviously in a news station reporting, and I'll go back to the video. She's obviously in a news station, right? She's reporting. She's reporting, and she's not expecting the Ministry of Defense to blow up behind her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like they thought that they were in a safe space, but obviously no. So more to come on that with the Syria and Israel unrest.
All right. So now I don't know if you guys heard this, right? But did y'all know that Delta is basically like dealing with some new AI system that is gonna force them to, like, not force them, but they're gonna try to change the ticket prices based off of what your pockets look like. I think that's crazy. What do you think about that, Kwana?
I need additional information.
So basically, it says Delta is quietly testing a new AI system that could step that could stop tick. I'm sorry, I don't have on no glasses, guys. It says Delta is quietly testing a new AI system that could stop set tickets prices instead. You'll pay whatever the airline thinks you personally can afford based on your data.
All right, so that tells me that because I don't know how they would set a ticket price based on data that you don't provide. So that tells me that they may want you to provide additional information um, for for them to set those prices. Correct?
Or, or the
Okay.
AI system that they're gonna that they're probably creating extracts it from once you're on the site.
Um, I don't like that. I mean,
I
listen,
don't like that either.
I'm
Either.
I feel as if it's an invasion of privacy, but I mean everything is. Because how many times have you been on the phone and you spoke to someone in regards to something, and then you start seeing Facebook ads and all different types of Google ads with that information? I think that Apple had there's like a class action suit out right now. Apple has one for Siri because um, Siri would actually almost like listening into your conversation, and then Siri would activate, but
Hmm.
you're not. So the Apple has a now, I think it's maybe like $100 million class action suit out there right now. So I don't know. I don't know.
That's funny because while I'm working, right, I'm listening to music and I'm singing.
Yeah.
My phone would literally start blink, like it'd light up with like this blue ring around my phone.
Hmm.
And I'm looking like, what is that? It's like our version of Siri.
That's like what is it, Google Talk or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, girl,
Google
I'm
Talk,
telling you.
Bixby, whatever. I don't know the name anymore. They
Listen,
keep
pretty
changing it.
pretty soon Samsung's going to have a whole lawsuit out there as well when it comes to that because
Hmm.
a lot of people complained about it, and now Apple has to pay out. There's a huge class action lawsuit out there, and I don't know what's going to come of it. I'm pretty sure we'll see it in the news. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if this AI thing with Delta will go off well. I mean, I feel as if it may because you have it sounds like it's going to be like based on like income, right?
Yeah.
So if you can afford to pay for a $400 plane ticket, based upon your income, and the person going to the same place sitting next to you can only pay $100, $100. They can only pay $100. Then it may work in the favor of um, of those people who can't afford them. However, I'm all for saving a dollar, but I also am all for being fair, right?
Hmm.
Um, get your ticket early. fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But is there anything else that they're talking about when it comes to this?
Um, no, it's just saying that, but I just happened to come across this right before we went live, and I just thought that we should talk about it because I think everyone should know, what they're basically trying to do. Because I don't think just because you can afford a $400 flight, um, that's how much you should pay if someone else can pay $100. I
Yeah.
do think that if the flight from like Georgia to Florida costs $100, then it should be $100 for everybody. You know, it shouldn't. They shouldn't change it just because I can afford it doesn't mean I can actually afford it at that moment because you
Well, I
don't
mean,
know what's going on in that person's life.
absolutely, but I mean that's how it currently works. Either you get early or you get a little bit later. There's always going to be fluctuating ticket prices, right?
Yes.
But it takes away from the people who do go in. I don't care if I make $1 million. Listen, if I'm able to go in and get a ticket for $100 because I went in early, they're supposed to. I've looked early and I planned ahead. Why isn't that something I can do? You know.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with it because I don't have additional information. I would have to know how they're going to get this information before I can make a decision on that.
So I say, we're gonna touch base on this later. When we get more information on it. It's the first time I'm seeing it, and we would really like to know what's going on with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
and like don't get me like if I'm going in a year early and I see a ticket for $98 round trip, you not gonna and I put my information in and you tell me in 2 minutes when I go to check out it's $398 because I make money. That's wild. That is wild. No, I'm not doing
Oh, what if they sit there and try to say it's $1,000?
this $1,000 that I mean,
And
where
you
am
can
I
afford it.
going? $1,000. Where am I going? I got to be going somewhere where it's an 8 hour trip or something because we're in the United States of America. Are you paying $1,000 unless you're doing first class? And even then, like I've flown first class to
Me
California,
too.
I didn't pay that much. So
Listen, and I enjoyed my first class
I,
ride. That was listen. I think that everyone should try that. If you can afford it, try it. It is a nice luxury to have. I
yeah,
just happened to bump my ticket up one
great,
time, and I
great.
was just like, "Oh, you're not gonna want to go back
Yeah,
because you know."
I'll, I'll definitely be doing business class on my next long haul. So if I'm going 2 hours, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing first class in Florida. I think it makes no sense because
I
I'm
mean, I
getting
did.
the same. I'm getting the same place with these people, that's in the back in row 26. And I didn't get anything special. Got a little wine or whatever, but they could pay for it too.
No, when I went, I got dinner. I got wine. I was
Mhm.
like, they be eating whole meals up in this mother sucker while we back there eating snacks. Wow.
You went 2 hours, Nicole. What are we doing? Like, what you paid $100 upgrade for dinner.
No, it wasn't $100. Was it $100?
It
No,
was.
it wasn't $100. No, because whatever my ticket was, it was girl. It wasn't $100 because when I sat there, I ended up not. I should have did it coming back too because it
Mhm.
gave me a free bag underneath and everything. I was like, I thought when we came back, I was gonna be able to upgrade again, but I was just like, dang, whatever. It
Yeah,
is what it
yeah.
is. I don't remember what I told you. What price did I tell you it was?
I thought it was $100, but
I don't
okay.
remember. It was last year,
You
guys.
paid $100 for a steak dinner
Listen,
on the airplane.
but it was a nice experience.
Yeah.
I was able to afford it at the time.
Mhm.
I wanted the space. I wanted to experience it and I wanted the space. And I got the space and I was able to relax. And I enjoyed my little 2 hour
As
flight
you should,
in
as
first
you
class.
should, as you should. The crazy part is like when I think about these, airlines, they try once somebody introduces something, the other ones usually follow suit, right?
Yes.
Ain't no way I'm paid. You're gonna hit me with Frontier and Spirit and tell me I gotta pay $500 to go to Florida. That's not going to happen. Okay, I just thought about that. Your seats don't even recline.
Ooh.
What is that? Yo, okay, we were looking for flights. And I love kayak. I love that. I don't get paid for them. I love kayak as the search engine. And we were looking for flights, and I was like, okay, let me try kayak. And Frontier came up first, right? It was like $198 round trip, and I'm like, Frontier, I've never flown on Frontier before. And remember, I asked you, I'm like, what is
Mhm.
that? And then so we have a friend that actually was like, don't do that. They make you pay for everything. Why? I said, let me see for kicks and giggles. Let me see how it looks, right? So I put the ticket in the cart. Why the first check bag was $99? Why am I doing that? Let me go over here to Delta or American where I could get my free carry on. It was like carry on was like $52, and then the first check bag was $99. What?
Wow.
Why am I doing that? The only time I would ever get on a flight like that, or even Spirit, is if I have my personal item with me, everything in one bag, and I'm going for like a weekend. And
Yes.
that's it. Like, if I have to get there and get there fast, I would do that. But, child, I was like, wait a minute. What kind of airline is this? Seats
Girl.
don't recline. That ain't it. No.
I can't mess with them. Frontier and Spirit are one. I've flown Spirit. I've never flown Frontier. Okay. We are not sitting here getting paid by these people. Okay. I do not like neither one of these airlines. Um, when I was on Spirit, my knees was touching the back of the chair.
No, no, no.
Okay.
No, 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 no. So I was on Spirit a couple of times, and I go into the big front seats, first three rows, right? Mind you, I was on there coming from Miami, and I was on there with a Fox News anchor. And
Oh.
he was telling me, he said, this airline has gotten better, but I don't book unless I can have these seats. So, like, he was so nice. We chatted the entire way
That's
back
awesome.
into New York, and but he was so nice, and he was like, "Listen, just take Spirit. It's cheaper, yes, but he was like, get the big front seats." He said, "I only come because I go back and forth on the weekends to Florida because he's working on certain shows in Florida as well. So he's in between Florida and New York." And he was just like, "Listen, they're getting better. I never had an issue. I never had my flight delayed, and I'm always in the big front seats." So I said, "Okay, sir, if it's good enough for you in the big front seats, I can do it. But if I see that the big front seats are taken, yeah, Spirit is a dub. I'm not getting on you." So,
So when you say the big front seats, are
yes.
those the seats by the door?
Yes, those are. It's like it's 3 rows or 3 or 4 rows of them, and they're like big, comfy seats. They recline. They're like, yeah, they're like the first class of Spirit, right? They're like the first class.
Okay.
So if you can get one of those seats, get that, because the other ones, child, there's no room. They don't recline. You don't get
They
any
don't.
snacks. You get nothing. So
I cannot deal with that. I
yeah.
cannot. I know on the flight on the way back, we were, by the emergency door, they was like, oh, um, in order to sit here, you have to. We was like, we good. I
Yeah.
won't have no problems opening up this door. Okay,
I'll
no
open it.
problem.
I ain't saving anybody. They got another thing coming. Don't put me there. Anyway, so hopefully that system with Delta, with their new ticketing system that they plan to roll out, it's fair across the board, and it does not slight anyone, whether you make $20 a year, $20,000 a year, or $1 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, it doesn't slight anybody. So more to come on that. All right, now, Nicole. So, what else do you have over there for news?
Mm. All right. So, the crazy thing is, I came across an article about a young lady in New Jersey. This young lady basically she was arrested because apparently she had 3 men on child support for the same child. How? How is this even possible? How could she do something like this? Like I could have sworn that child support was like linked, you know? like they were able to tell stuff like this. I don't know. How is that possible?
Across different states, because I know that
No.
there are instances where the states don't really, their systems don't talk, right? So if the father lives in North Carolina, if you file in North Carolina where that person's state resides, um, there may be an instance where she was getting child support through the North Carolina courts, and then or a California court, and then New Jersey court. You know, it could be an instance of that. I don't know. What does it say?
They do live in different states.
Yeah, I figured
And
that.
she did file for the child support in three different states.
I knew
New
it. I
Jersey,
knew it.
Minnesota, and Maryland.
Yeah, that's how that happened. Yeah, and the thing about it is, if the child's father is moving, but okay, uh, and this is three different men, right?
Three different men, same child. She brought in 3,200 a month in child support in the past 6 years.
Poor baby was living off the hog. Okay, now how do you like how did the men not know this, right? Like, did they must they probably didn't see the child often, because there's no way that if you see your child often, like the kid, I mean, I don't know how old that child is, but for some reason that kid is not going to be like, okay, that's my daddy and that's my daddy and that's my daddy. Now unless the kid is in on it, that's crazy.
I
That's a
mean,
whole new level of.
we do know women be lying to them to men about who their child is, right? About these
I
kids.
agree with that, but what about
And
the kids?
I think the kid has to be young in order for this to happen. So being that it says 6 years, I'm gonna assume that he's 6 years old because it does not show his age. But for a 6 year old, she probably said,
That's crazy.
"Call him
Listen,
daddy."
we saw Medea, what was it? She's like, get away from my daddy, tramp. And he was like 7, 6 or 7. They know. Like,
Yeah, they
they
know.
know. So, but wow, that was a huge scam. How long was she receiving $3,200 a month?
6 years.
Ooh, wow.
So I feel that these systems
Hmm.
should link,
Yeah, I
just
get.
like the DMV system should link, no matter what state you're in.
Let me tell you, but
Child support should
DMV
link.
the DMV just actually started doing that. This is how people were able to get different licenses in different states back in the day, because the DMV, the systems never talked to one another.
You know
Someone got
what?
smart and revamped it, and now you can't, really get anything over on the DMV. It'll be like, it says here, your license is suspended in New York City. Your license is suspended here.
I mean,
It'll tell you that.
in regards to that, maybe, but when it comes to like transferring over your plates, I feel you should be able to go to the state that you reside in, the new state that you reside in. You should be able to go changing your plates, get the new plates. But like if you live in a state like New York, they want their plates back. Okay,
Mm.
don't go get those plates, and then you can just mail it in or whatever. It will say that your car is not insured, and they will suspend your license.
Mm. Yeah, I've never returned my plates at all. Never. New York, I did when I lived in New York, but um, yeah, but that'll be it. Yeah, I didn't return them joints.
That's
Wait, did
crazy.
I? I don't remember.
I mean, it maybe
I
you
may
have,
have.
because I know a lot of states
It was
the
so long
plates are
ago.
yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
That's
when
how
I
it should
changed
be.
cars, if I didn't want that plate, I would not return it. I would just keep it. I've never returned my plates, and I've gone to DMV a number of times since then, and I don't have a record. Well, who knows? But kudos to old girl for getting $3,200 in child support for 6 years. Unfortunately, she's going to have to pay that money back. You see, you always get caught, no matter what it is. You think that you're under the radar, but you will always get caught. And if you
Always be
don't,
loyal.
if you don't get caught with that particular thing, you're gonna get caught with something else. So let that be a learning opportunity for you scammers out there. That's insane. All right. So the next topic that we have on the list, okay, ICE. They're out of control. I have been watching videos of them stopping people in the street, like get out of the car, like you need, and detaining people as they're driving. Like they may have followed them or something like that, but they're detaining them as they're driving. Um, and I've even seen them in supermarkets. Like it's really getting out of hand.
I think so.
Really getting out of
I,
hand.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Um, I seen a video. I believe it was an AI video. To be honest with you, I don't
Mm,
think that is true. But it
okay.
was saying that Trump has to deport his own family,
No,
um,
no,
because both him and his wife family did came into this country illegally.
yeah, no,
We
no.
was like,
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
think
you know
so.
it's
Yeah,
fake.
yeah, no, that's insane. Um, yeah, I just like I've been watching so many different things, and while I do agree with them, um, their efforts to get these people out of get some of the people that are out of the country, but you have some people who have been here for a very long time, and they're upstanding people. I'm not gonna say citizens because they aren't citizens, but
Some
they're
of them are.
well, if you're a citizen, you're not getting deported, Nicole. You're not a citizen.
No, no, no. I know that, but that's what Trump is trying to do. There are citizens who have been detained, and they're trying to deport them as well, which
Okay.
doesn't make any sense. I don't know how that's possible,
Uh-huh.
but
I'm sorry. My system is acting up right now. I apologize.
it's okay.
I
A
apologize.
few moments later.
Yeah. Because my joint, it's a mess. Okay, I'm telling you, like it just does what it wants to do when it wants to do it, and like, but we live, so hey, listen, these things are gonna happen. These are gonna happen. But
Which one do?
you're right. Like he's just doing whatever he wants to do. At this point, and I wonder what the end game is.
Hmm. I think that I really so I do understand why certain people have to leave because there's a lot of people that's coming here that are just bad for our country. Okay, but that's not everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are in um in the process of getting their papers, why are you stopping that, sir? They already went through everything that they went through to get to where they have to get. Allow these people to come to citizens. They've been here long enough. They did everything. Why are they going to court thinking that they're going to get their citizenship, but yet you're sending them back, to where they came from? That's horrible. People who's been here for like 40 plus years
Yeah.
or something like that. That doesn't make any sense. There was a singer. Oh my goodness. I'm so mad right now that I forgot the song, but it's a classic song that we've listened to for years. But it's an
Mm.
old song. She got deported. And I'm like, it's a
Whoa.
it's a well known song. It's like a house song that we all danced to in like late 80s, early 90s. And she
Mm.
got deported, and it's like, and somebody was like, "Oh, she didn't do nothing to nobody. She's like the sweetest person. I know her personally. She's like the
Yes.
sweetest person. Why is she being
No.
deported?"
They're
I
not.
do
They're
not
not playing.
see, I do not see European individuals being deported. I've only seen people of color.
Mm.
Why is that? Because right is right and wrong is wrong. So if you're talking about, oh, they're here illegally and they're from someplace like that, why not deport them as well?
Right, because there are many people who are here that look like they're American citizens, but they are not. Lots of Irish and Polish immigrants. A lot of them
Chilean.
are here, and I haven't seen them go after them yet. It really is sad. It really is. But I know that there was a story that you were talking about when it came to ICE. And if you want to just touch on that a bit.
Okay. So basically, it's saying that the immigration authorities are trying to force landlords to give up information like forwarding addresses, application rentals, the rental application. I'm sorry, ID cards, tenants, the tenant's forwarding address. Like this is crazy. I don't understand how you can force a landlord to be a part of a mass deportation. The landlord has nothing to do with that. Is you get your information however you get your information, but you shouldn't. I don't think that they should include landlords. What do you think?
I think it's a for me. I don't even know. It's just like the extra efforts that they're using, that they're going through great lengths just to get these people. And it's like, first of all, I have a lot of things to do. If I'm a landlord, I only can tell you where they lived prior to me. Landlords aren't asking people where they're moving to. They're not doing that. They're not saying, "Hey, listen, what's your address? I'm going to send you a card." No, I mean, so what are you forcing them to talk? Unless you're asking these the landlords whether or not those people are still in their homes or in their buildings. I understand that you asking them, but to ask them for forwarding addresses and things of that nature, first of all, you're ICE. You go to the post office and subpoena the post office. You're not gonna do it. That's why.
Please don't subpoena the post office.
No, go to the post office. Subpoena the post office. You already know the post office have so many things that they're doing right now that's underneath their belt. They don't have time to be, to lend to this type of project. I'm like, it's annoying. Like if you catch one, you catch one. If not, like okay, whatever. If you catch someone while they're doing a crime, then okay, I understand, deport them. But
Hmm.
to go after them and be searching them down like you a Nazi, like these people are living in Germany, and you're trying to put them in concentration camps, which what I see, the things that the camps that they have holding the buildings look like concentration camps. So to me, it's like you're trying to go back to what
Recreate it. Yep. But
I,
someone already said that about Trump. They tried to say that he's trying to act like he's Hitler. They
like
said that.
what, like the way that you're seeking them out, and then you have people on the police force. You had the good old boys on the police force. There are cops and people in positions of authority that have been um, passed down. Now it's like the KKK with a damn badge, right? And they had to abide by certain rules. Now you're giving them the authority to do what it is that they want to do, however they want to do it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that these landlords, exercise their First Amendment, um, whether to talk or not to talk, and because they don't have to give anything.
They
And,
definitely don't.
and if I know, it's like, all right, no, I don't know. Period. I don't know. But you gonna send every landlord in for questioning and with a lie detector? No, you're not.
And, and like I said before, don't subpoena the post office because the post office, all they're gonna do is lean on those carriers, and we don't like when the papers come in from the lawyers anyway. We
Yeah,
can't stand that
yeah,
because it's a bit much. Yeah, from like when it comes to child support or trying to find out if someone lives here so they can probably like a debt collector, but these are lawyers. Like these papers come in and you got to verify. We don't want to do that. I'm speaking for the post office.
Yeah.
We don't want to do it, so please stay away.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, I'm hoping that the efforts are you know they update the way that they're doing things, because there needs to be a modification somewhere, because of the way that they treat these people. It's like they're not human beings, like they're cattle, like they're animals, and they are
Mm.
not. They are not. So, oh gosh, so that leads us to our last and final topic for the evening. Um, I recently had someone say to me, and they said it with their chest out, okay? They said, don't forget, I know who you are, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I know who you are. You're on your podcast. You're on your podcast, but I remember I remember you, okay? And I just thought that it was interesting because one thing is, okay, I was never a bad person, okay? Well, let's not say that. But I was that person who was very timid and who didn't really stand up for herself. I would not talk. I would kind of fall back into the shadows, and allow people to just say and do whatever to me. But I'm no longer that person. So I wanted to. It took everything in me not to curse the person out, right? It took everything in me, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to even give you the satisfaction, right? Of of dignifying you with a response. It's like, whatever. Yep, I am. You know, you knew me when I was 2022. You knew me when I was in my late, early from 18 to 30. Okay. You don't know who I am now. You don't know who 44-year-old Shaquana is now. And I feel like people try to hold you to your past because they want you to stay there, right? They want you to
Mm.
stay in your past. They remember who you used to be, and they try, but secretly they want you to go revert back to that person so they could walk all over you and use you and whatever else. Nicole, what do you think?
Girl, you already know for me. I am not the same person I was when I was 18, when I was 25. I am 49, about to be 50, and look fabulous too.
Absolutely
Not-
do.
but no, listen, we've spoken about this many, many times on this platform. We when it came to relationships and everything, you have to get to know we introduce yourself to people. You have to get to know the person that you are with, because we change all the time. We grow all the time. Okay. What I might have dealt with then, I'm not going to deal with now. You learn from your past mistakes. So, no, like, come on. Like, if you knew that person, whoever that person you're talking about, you better not be coming at me thinking that you know who this person is standing before you today.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay. Especially if you're not even in my inner circle.
Hmm.
If you're not here and we're not doing this vibing, you don't know me. You don't know me. But if you want to get to know me, you know, that's up for discussion. But we're not gonna pretend that that 20-year-old version, you know, that's who I am today, because it's not.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. You'll be doing yourself a huge disservice if you're thinking that you can come to 44-year-old me now with the 29-year-old me mentality. You understand? Like, I definitely am that person that will. My cutoff game is so strong. I don't. I reward disloyalty with distance. Prior to that, I would always just forgive and then allow people back into my good graces, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Okay.
And if I get wind of you saying crap, talk about me, saying anything about me, and if I get wind of that and then you smiling in my face, you getting cut off too. Um, I, and if I get wind of that and then you saying crap, talk about me, saying anything about me, and if I get wind of that and then you smiling in my face, you getting cut off too. You like kids included. I don't
But
like
it's like you
I
never
don't
existed.
discriminate. I
It's
don't
like you
discriminate.
never existed.
Yes,
That's me.
exactly. And I don't have to talk bad about you because I've had conversations with people and they're like, okay, what happened to so and so? Or how they doing? Oh, they okay. And that's it. And if you want to know anything else, you might want to call them, text them, see how they're doing. Because you're not going to get me to say anything bad about anybody because I'm not going to say anything bad about them because I didn't appreciate them saying anything bad about me or assassinating my character. So you won't get me to stoop low with them. I'm not there. I'm up here. They there. I'm not doing that. But I feel like, people will definitely try to test you to see how far you've come, right? They will try to test you. They will try to see if they can trigger you in a way that would make them say, yup, she ain't changed, or he didn't change. People do that. And kudos to us for elevating, because if and it should be um it should be celebrated that you are not the same person you once was.
I agree.
If you've evolved into something that is so much better, or you've elevated, it should be celebrated. Yes, I'll kick that addiction. I mean, I never had an addiction. No, don't say it. But
I
yes,
mean, but technically, you did have an addiction. It don't have to be an addiction. Doesn't have to be to drugs. It can be to a man. It can be to listen to a song. It can be to eating candy. So yeah, we've all had
I will kick
addictions,
that. I will
and
kick that. Yeah.
but carry on, Quana.
Yeah. But you're right. We've all had addictions and vices and stuff like that. But if I have chosen to elevate and have chosen to remove myself from situations that are not serving me, not for my highest good, that should be celebrated. Whether or not you get to come along too, because obviously you've done something to me, and that's the reason why you're not here in my circle. But celebrate that. Just say, you know what, whatever she did, whatever she did was best for her. Okay, people can't do that, and I don't understand why. I don't understand. So, we're celebrating elevation. We're celebrating knowing who we are. We're celebrating practicing self love and practicing the very things that will take us far in this lifetime. You know, we're celebrating that. So kudos to anyone who has elevated, who has changed, who has evolved into who they feel to be a better person. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. As long as you feel like you are a better person because of the choices that you've made, then that's all that matters. Kudos to you for evolving in that way. And if anybody else tries to bring you back to a place where you were, stop them right in their tracks and say, sorry, the elevator doesn't go up to that floor anymore. I no longer reside there.
I got something to say about that.
Hmm.
So for those of you, this is a reminder. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to grow. You are not your past.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes the past, like you said before, it's not always like addictions and stuff like that. Sometimes your past is just you letting people walk all over you. You not speaking up for yourself. You're not having a voice and saying how you feel because of maybe you're afraid of backlash and things of that nature. Try to um when you speak up for yourself to people who always have told you what to do, or or people that you've always listened to, you're always going to get some backlash. Like that's just what it's gonna be because they're not used to you in this new you. They're not used to that. So you're always gonna get backlash from those people who are not used to you speaking up for yourself and saying no. At this point, if I say no, don't ask me why, because no is a complete sentence.
Yes.
Don't, oh well, why? I'm gonna stare at you with a look like I'm not answering that question. Hey,
The
Quan,
blank stare.
Like
The blank
the blank
stare.
blank stare for sure. Quana, can you do something? No. Well, why? If you get that stare from me, know that I'm not going to even dignify you with a response because there needs to be no why. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want to. Okay? So,
Period.
and I wasn't like that before, I wasn't like that. So it definitely is something that we strive to do, and we're trying not to be as we try not to be mean girls or anything like that. But we're gonna say what we want, and we're gonna do what we want to do when we want to do it, and that should be okay.
So, to piggyback off what she just said, I've learned how to say what I need to say in a reasonable tone. Still, it can still be cutthroat, but because I'm saying it in a certain way, you're not receiving it in a negative way. You understand a little better, So that's just something that I've learned, and I implement that in my life because
Yeah.
I choose to, I'm starting to put me first. I always put everyone else first. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
It's all about me. I'm not saying that the people in my life can't, stand up here with me. I'm just saying you're supposed to choose you.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of your self-love. And I'm learning that. I've learned it. I'm learning more because trust me when I say, just because you've learned something, that doesn't mean that you stop learning.
That's correct.
So I welcome I welcome new things all the time. I love learning new things. So, you know, it's you should embrace it. That's how you grow.
I
Come
agree
on.
with that. I agree with that. So remember, it's okay to grow. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to not like the same things you used to like. There are certain things that I say now that I never used to say. There are certain things that I used to do that I don't do.
Hmm.
Um, it's okay. We are, as human beings, allowed to do that. If we're not evolving and we're staying the same, are we really growing? No, we are not.
No.
So it's okay to do that. It's okay to choose you in certain situations. It's okay. There are things that may not be for your highest good, and you choose you and saying, "No, I'm not going to do that," and that's okay. I think
Yeah.
that we have to be okay with people choosing themselves. We have to,
Yes.
yeah.
And don't get all upset. You know what I mean? If someone decides not to do what you want them to do, don't get upset with them. Be okay with that answer and
Hmm.
move on.
Yes, absolutely. It'd be better for you to do so. So all right, well, that is our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching Real Conversation. I am your host, Quana Terry, and
And I am Nicole Jones. And you can reach us at real, I'm sorry. You can reach us at real underscore convos underscore podcast here on YouTube, on Facebook, and I'm sorry, on Instagram, and on Facebook at Real Conversations 2021 and Real Conversations. I'm sorry, guys. That was Shaquana's part.
it
I
is
jumped ahead.
okay. It is okay. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Like he said, you can find us here on YouTube's real underscore convos underscore podcast. We usually broadcast live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And she's already said everything else as far as Facebook and Instagram is concerned. We have started to broadcast live on Facebook on both channels, Real Conversation and Real Conversation 2021. So we are there. We are broadcasting live there now when we can. But if you want to email us, you can email us at realconvospodcast@gmail.com. If you have a topic for us to talk about, please do so. Please let us know what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about, and we will enter that into one of our shows. So I thank you so much for watching. Nicole, do you have anything else tonight?
I don't have anything else tonight. We just want to say we love every last one of you. We want to say thank you to everyone who shares our live. You guys are awesome individuals, okay? Keep sharing, keep loving this our posts, and help our channel grow. And thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for watching, and God bless.